Okay, so let me quickly start off today's session. So I just want to greet everyone with a good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the globe everybody's joining in from. And uh, we have our panelists and guests who have joined in today in our Zoom platform and our streaming platform who are watching us. Welcome to a groundbreaking exploration of intersection between technology and education and the limitless possibilities of the future. Today, we embark on a journey into the world of AI-powered Edu-Tech, where learning meets the realm of science fiction. In this ever-evolving landscape, right? Like, so learning management system plays a pivotal role as well in shaping the way we educate and develop our workforce. It's not just about the present, it's also paving the way of future for where learning is adaptive, engaging, and driven by the power of artificial intelligence. Before we start off today's session, I just want to quickly introduce an AI-powered learning management solution which we have introduced into the market called as Android LMS, an innovative generative AI-powered platform that is revolutionizing education, making learning and teaching more efficient. Now, Android is just not just an LMS; it's a gateway to advanced learning experience designed with simplicity and efficiency at its core. I would want to encourage everyone to explore Android LMS while we have this session going on. You can always visit us on www.android-lms.com and witness firsthand how the platform is reshaping the landscape of education and professional development. You can always feel free to reach us with any questions or any information required. Without further ado, let me dive into today's masterclass. We have the privilege of being in the company of some of the distinguished experts who will share their insights on the AI-powered Edu-Tech. Now, these individuals who has joined us are from the forefront of education, technology, and innovation, and they are here to guide us through the exciting possibilities that lies ahead of us. So basically, fasten your seatbelts, open your mind to the future, and let's explore together a fascinating realm that the meeting is going to discuss about the science fiction. Welcome to our webinar. I want to introduce our panelists right before we dive into the questions. Firstly, I want to, first and foremost, of course, I want to welcome Mr. Gabriel. Let me introduce Mr. Gabriel Julian. Gabriel is a prominent figure in the industry. He is serving as a research supervisor in the education, leadership, and management at the University of West Indies. With a wealth of expertise in the research of education and leadership, Gabriel's contribution to our discussion today are sure to be enlightened. We are delighted to have Gabriel as a part of our discussion and distinguished speaker panel. Our second panelist, of course, is Mr. Mahmood Hamdeen Niana. As he is a cybersecurity expert from Exaltius and Cyber Talent and other specialized cybersecurity institute. Hailing from the field of education, leadership, and management, Mahmood brings a wealth of knowledge in the instruction design, cybersecurity, and encryption. Mahmood, we are truly honored to have you on board in our panel today as well. We welcome you. Now, next to our distinguished list of panelists, we have Mr. Pratap Maladi, a senior data analyst from a leading demand generation and digital transformation consulting firm. Pratap's expertise in the marketing-driven data analytics, strategic partnership, and SQL is exceptional. His insights into the world of education, leadership, and management will undoubtedly provide us with a valuable perspective in today's session. We will welcome you, Pratap, to this session as well. Welcome. Moving forward, expanding to our circle of experts, we welcome Professor and Dr. Pankaj Kumar Mishra, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Local University in Saharanpur, UP. Dr. Pankaj's expertise in analytical skills, education technology, and technology integration is truly commendable. We are delighted to have you on board, Dr. Pankaj. We want to welcome you to today's session.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you.
Welcome. And finally, we have Mr. Samuel Fasani. Samuel is a chartered psychologist and certified data analyst from Fordham University. His wealth of expertise in data analytics add another layer of richness to our today's discussion. Now, Samuel, I want to welcome you to this panel, and we are thrilled to have you on board as well.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So, together with these experts represent a diverse spectrum of knowledge and experience in their field of education, leadership, and management. Throughout today's masterclass, we will have the privilege to delve into their insights, exploring emerging trends, and gaining valuable perspective. People join me in the expressing our sincere gratitude to have our extreme panelist here, and you are always welcome to ask any questions to our panelist, and I'll address it to them. Now, let's quickly delve into the questions for today's session. I would definitely want to start off with Mr. Gabriel. Mr. Gabriel, considering your experience, right? So how do you envision AI-powered education technology transforming the traditional role of educators, particularly in the context of personalized learning experiences?
Thank you very much. First of all, I think that AI, artificial technology, is important. And I am enthused with this topic because as noted earlier, I am a research supervisor and I work exclusively online. And from my experience, I can say without a doubt that AI stimulates human intelligence. Not only does it stimulate, it energizes the mind, it broadens the horizons, and moreover, it stimulates cognition. And it does that, well, in several ways, but I will stay with the use of computer systems powered by learning algorithms.
Okay.
As a result, it moves then educators so that we can really focus more and more on the learning process and guide and nurture students. It is a shift to teaching how to learn, how to assist students to what? To capitalize the AI, to really make the best of it. AI, in my opinion, my experience, is of paramount significance because it monitors and assesses the progress of students because it provides feedback, timely feedback, identifies areas of weakness. And I think this is important because students would like to know how they are doing. And we cannot only tell them you have done well, bravo. We need to say, although you have done well, these are your areas of weaknesses.
Right.
And as a result, students can improve their areas and consequently optimize their ability. AI then offers individualized learning, vocabulary drills, language supports, and it makes learning interesting. It is self-directed and can help students to take ownership of their academic journey. It facilitates, allows students to access high quality educational resources regardless of their economic status or geographic location. As I say, economic status or geographic location, some countries, some people may have challenge in these areas because of lack of finances and sometimes with the poor connectivity. Nonetheless, it is still available. When I think of AI and inclusivity, and again, too, I'm passionate about that because one of my areas is inclusion. I say there are many ways that educators, well, are already using this in the curriculum. Some of these are what we call assistive technology, to guide students along the right path. And they include what? Spelling tools, grammar checks, word prediction, text to text, speeches. But mind you, although I speak highly of AI and inclusion, the presence of the educator is also very important because not everything you can translate literally. I'm also into grammar and language, and sometimes I have to tell students, look, this is not correct. But sir, I did it through the Grammarly. I said, no, when you do that, you still have to interpret it. So that's where I guess the physical presence of the educator is still necessary. AI in terms of and AI in terms of inclusion can be used to create an awareness. When we think of inclusion, it is still, as in my mind, not where it ought to be. And this awareness could be done through what? Chatbots, virtual assistants, educational platform, so that um, resources, letting people know that inclusion is important. And we not only when we talk about inclusion, we're talking about equity, diversity. So we're getting involved into the entire aspect of inclusion. So I think it really fosters, it complements, it motivates us as educators to really use AI. One of the criticisms, I mean, everything is not all well, is um, it can only be learned from the data input, whatever you input. So it could be what? It's dynamic and simultaneously it could be static. So it must be monitored. We need to still show students how they can get the best out of it. Now, when I think of the overall benefits, I think they are great in terms of automating the grading system so that students cannot say, well, you're biased, you didn't do that. Look, it's there on the system. Provides a curriculum customized to the needs of students. Not all students think and work at the same level. And consequently, it's apt for inclusion. It gives insights into the progress of students. It allows autonomy of where students can take autonomy of their own learning, and once they take that into consideration, they are able to move beyond. Again, and it ought to, this is my perspective, that AI can be a valuable tool for educators in supporting, harnessing, fostering, enhancing the learning of students. However, I view it cannot fully replace the human educators. I teach online. Not everything we can do via email. Sometimes and it happened even when we were preparing for this for this meeting. How many what you call it, communication lines. You have to send an email and you want me to respond to make sure I get it because I could ignore the email and say, look, I didn't see it. So we need that human touch. Again, in terms of teaching language, students still need to say, well, sir, you marked this on the paper, how come? So I still have to have that one-on-one individual meeting with them. Um, it provides, it cannot replace educators, but generally, because the educators, we need to provide that support, that guidance, that emotional support. They need to hear that affirmative words from us, that word of encouragement that they are doing well. And well, I don't think AI could accurately, competently say that. So, in terms of how AI assists technology, AI technology assists, I say it is great. I am fascinated. I'm thrilled. I'm excited about this whole thing. And I want to underscore that it cannot really replace the human educator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel, for an elaborate explanation and like your valuable inputs on that. Very valid points over there. And I definitely think that AI do play a real crucial part in education, but then human interference has to be there. Uh, on that context, again, I would want to kind of ask an interesting question to Mr. Mahmood. Considering the potential vulnerability in the AI system, right? Like, so how can an educator, especially those focusing on the cybersecurity, prepare students for the responsible use and understanding of an AI in their learning journey?
Okay, actually, I think as AI system became increasingly prevalent, preparing students for their responsible use and understanding actually is crucial. Educators, especially cybersecurity educators, can play a vital role in helping students develop their required skill and knowledge to navigate the AI-powered landscape safely and effectively.
Yes.
We need firstly to introduce AI fundamentals to students. So starting by providing students with the basic understanding of AI, including its concepts, applications, potential benefits of AI. This will help students to develop a foundation of further explanation and critical thinking. Also, then we need to engage students in discussion about AI ethics and responsibilities. This is a very important point, and I think we need to discuss it when we are going to talk about threats of AI and how can we deal with it. Such ethics like being biased or the concept of privacy, these are very crucial pillars we need to stand on when we are considering AI application. Also, we need to teach students about the vulnerabilities and cybersecurity risks of AI, such as data manipulation, different cyber attacks that might be resulted in AI. This will help students to develop strategies to identify and mitigate the risks of AI when they are starting to use it in their education journey. Actually, I want to mention the importance of promoting hands-on learning with AI tools. We need to help and support students or learners how to practice and use AI tools by giving students the opportunity to use AI tools and the application on this technology. Finally, I think incorporating AI education across disciplines by integrating the education or integrating the AI into education subjects. Maybe you are talking about science, mathematics, social studies, language arts. This will help students to understand the diverse application of AI and its impact on different aspects of their lives. By implementing these different strategies, educators can empower students to become responsible and informed AI user, also prepare to navigate the explanation and AI-driven world with confidence and be aware. That's it.
Right. Thank you for those insights. I think that's a very valid point you mentioned over there. I'm sure that's something of utmost priority as well in terms of educating on the effective use of like AI. Now, again, I quickly want to move to Mr. Pratap with an interesting perspective from him at the data analytics part of it. So from a perspective as a senior data analyst, how can educators leverage AI-driven insights to tailor education strategies that cater to individual students' needs and preferences? So, how can a educator leverage through the use of AI?
Yeah. So before I begin answering this topic, basically, I'll just share with you two quotes, basically from technology facilitators. So, basically George Couros, He's a very technological facilitator and educator. He said very clearly, technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. So what he means is he's totally emphasizing on the pivotal role of the teachers in the educational process.
Yes.
Technology, while it is very much powerful, but it cannot replace the nuanced guidance, mentorship,
Yes.
and inspiration that the great teachers provide. Instead, when educators harness technology effectively, it become a catalyst for transformation in the classroom. For instance, generally, you can take a flipper classroom. Teachers use online resources to provide content outside of class, allowing valuable classroom time for interactive discussions and activities.
Yes.
So the second quote is from Sundar Pichai. I don't think so. It doesn't require any introduction. He was saying very clearly, AI can personalize education by understanding the needs of each student and by providing them the right content at the right time.
Yes.
So, yes. So what does he is he's highlighting the potential of AI to revolutionize education by tailoring learning experiences to suit individual students, different learning styles. We can illustrate the same. So now coming back to your topic question, yep, absolutely. As a senior data analyst, leveraging AI-driven insights in education can significantly enhance tailoring educational strategies to meet individual student needs. So we can typically consider some use cases like this. For example, say like personalized learning paths. So AI can analyze individual students' data to identify strengths, weaknesses, and learning styles, where educators can then create customized learning paths, suggesting resources, activities, or even personalized projects that align with each student's learning space and preferences. So,
Exactly.
for example, you can take like imagine an AI analyzing a student's historical performance in maths. Basically it recognizes that they excel in geometry but struggle in algebra equations. So, using these insights, educators can tailor assignments, recommending specific online modules to or interactive tools focusing on algebra while offering challenges in geometry to maintain the interest. So second use case where we can think of it's like early intervention of AI. Like AI can detect the patterns indicating when a student might struggle in a particular subject. So educators can intervene early by providing additional support or alternative learning methods to prevent learning gaps from widening. So to
Right.
support this, we can consider an example like consider an AI system tracking a student's online behavior. So it notices a sudden drop in quiz scores in chemistry, let us say. So this triggers an alert to the teacher who intervenes by scheduling additional one-to-one sessions or recommending supplementary materials to aid comprehension before the topic becomes too complex to the student. So the other use case we can consider is adaptive assessments. So AI-powered assessments can adapt in real time based on student responses. So, dwelling deeper into the areas where students require more practice and skipping over the mastered concepts.
Yes.
Okay, so this helps in efficient use of time and provide a more accurate assessment of a student's knowledge. So, to consider this, we can take an example of like picture an AI-powered test that adapts difficulty based upon students' response in real time. So
Yes.
if a student consistently answers geometry problems correctly, but struggles with the trigonometry, that test adjusts, offering a more challenging geometry questions while providing additional guidance in trigonometry.
Exactly.
So on the same line, we can consider another use case like more on like behavior analysis. Like AI can analyze behavioral patterns to understand engagement levels, attention spans, and preferences. So educators can then tailor their teaching methods or content delivery to better resonate with each student. So, so to support this example, we can say like an AI observes that certain students engage more with visual aids during lectures. So educators then can incorporate more visual content like infographics or videos in the teaching, enhancing engagement and understanding for the students. And the other thing, the very much important and powerful predictive analytics. So yes, so data is the oil, definitely, no doubt in that. So using historical data, AI can predict the future academic performance, potential areas of struggle, or even suggest career paths based upon students' strengths and interests. So then educators can use this information to guide students towards the suitable educational paths.
Exactly.
Okay. So then we can consider like feedback and improvement. So that is very much important actually. So and AI can analyze, AI can play a pivotal role here to analyzing the feedback and performance data to offer insights, not just for students, but also for educators. So it can help in refining teaching methodologies, identifying areas where needs improvement, and even suggest new approaches for better learning outcomes. So AI, it means like AI doesn't just benefit students. It can also analyze teaching methods. For instance,
Exactly.
we can say like by assessing student engagement during live classes, AI might
Correct.
suggest interactive sessions or group activities to improve participation and learning outcomes.
Exactly.
Now, after all, yes, we can also, AI can be abused right, because of ethical consideration. So it is very much crucial to emphasize the ethical use of AI in education because ensuring that data privacy, fairness, and transparency are maintained. So educators should understand the algorithms used and mitigate the biases that might affect the personalized insights provided. So uh, to support this example, educators must ensure that AI tools uphold ethical standards. For example, when we are using, say like we are using a facial recognition to gauge
Yes.
students' engagement, it is
Yes.
crucial to prioritize consent and data security, ensuring that
Correct.
student privacy is respected at all times.
True.
So I think most of that I have covered. Thanks for that.
So very true. Very true. Very, very valid point actually. Yeah. So the couple of pointers you mentioned over there, that's something which I closely work with as well. We as an organization at Exaltius, we do something very similar with the product which I mentioned at the very beginning, Android LMS. So we have AI capabilities which do adaptive assessment, which kind of creates question as per the skill of the students. We have AI capabilities wherein emotional analysis are captured of the student, how engaging they were. We have audio analysis wherein the analysis is done for the teacher or the trainer, or how monotonous they were, or how interesting the session was. So all those reports are pulled with the help of AI with the system what we are kind of working at this point. So I can very closely relate to what you mentioned over there, like because I have been involved in similar kind of technology, right? And thank you for your insights, Mr. Pratap. Right. Now, I would quickly go to Dr. Pankaj Kumar. I just want to ask you in terms of focus of, so let's say with focus of analytical skill, how an AI-powered Edu-Tech nurture and enhance students' critical thinking or their problem-solving abilities? Uh,
Thank you, Nitin. I got your question that you are asking in terms of administrative efforts also, and
Administrative
I'm having the higher echelon of the university as a pro vice chancellor. I do understand
yes, yes,
that many respects are required at the time at the place where I'm sitting in terms of analysis and all. But again, I'm just copying the style of Dr. Prahlad Malavati that he has told that he has started his discussion with a beautiful statement. I also wish to
yes,
quote another beautiful statement of gentleman. I just forget the name. That we are, the biggest challenge of entire world is what we are of little old generation. We are the baby boomers, and we are dealing with the G generation. And once you are working with a G generation student, they are very much faster. They are very much advanced in terms of technology, understanding, adopting the
right,
technology and everything. I personally believe that you might have a kid and that kid is more expert in operating the Apple phone or Android phone, whatever you have, right? So there's no doubt about the challenge. Technology will anyway come, any will go, and it will be part of your life. But my personal understanding about the technology and all and current era is what that we are working with the G generation student, and these students are very much, interested about the learning, about they want a kind of self-paced learning, right?
Yes.
And challenges with the higher education institution is what we are preparing a student for the
Yes.
job. And basically, we are the
Exactly.
job buyer. As a parent, when you come to my university and you will ask, sir, what is your placement ratio? Which companies are visiting? And then you
Yes.
will ask me that what is the highest package or what is the average,
Yes.
CTC
Right. Right.
students are getting, right? So we are preparing the students for a job, right? Which is yet not exist, because my BTech first year student will anyway pass out the BTech in maybe in the next 4 years. Now, after 4 years, how far the technology? Everybody is buzzing and talking about the AI, ML, big data, and chat GPT this time. After 4 years, whatever will be happen, nobody can imagine at this point of time, right?
Yes.
So we are preparing the student for a job which is yet not exist, yet not defined. We are preparing them for making a problem solver. The problem is still
Yes.
not defined, right? So that's a kind of
Exactly.
uncertainty we have. So in that way, I personally recommend, and we have adopted in our university also, that students should have some transferable skills, right? And that transferable skills, AI is the greatest teacher I personally. And second thing, second problem with the higher education institution or any school education also is what that we are following basically the formula which is known as one size fits for all. We have one classroom where the 30 student, whether 60 student, whether 90 student, each student will be set together. One teacher will deliver, and we personally assume that whatever I have taught, every student has understand. With a variety of the student and the diversity of students we are catering. Some students are from the southern part, some students from the northern part of the world, some students are from the east part of the world, and we are getting in local university to attract the talent and the students from the various parts of the globe. But again, each and every student have a different kind of learning style. How could we understand and assume that by teaching any subject by my own style, every student will be able to understand without having the level of understanding? And second thing, let's say teaching anyway, he will understand. Suppose the student from Nigeria can go to YouTube and find out some videos in their language and find out some logic.
Yeah.
What about assessment? Only one examination paper, one a CT1,
Yeah.
CT2, mid semester, end semester. That's another problem. That means biggest challenges are the classroom teaching and the assessment. I personally understand that this ChatGPT, AI, whatever we are talking about, AI-based enabled, LMS will help the student to have their own style of learning. Every student has their own speed of learning, and every student is not comparable. Every individual is a unique, and we as
Right.
a educator need to nourish the path only. They have all the tremendous powers and possibilities to proceed on. They all are the rivers. Wherever they will go, they will find the path, they will create the path. I personally understand, but problem is what we are not nurturing them for a proper understanding. And my personal belief that in our university, what we are doing, we have allow the student that for giving the submission of the assignment, you can use the chat, no problem. But some
Right.
creativity should be there. It should not like earlier what the students were doing. They are just whatever the difficult question give as assignment, they just go to the Google and copy and paste something. But with the help of chat GPT and all, at least they are trying something. They are trying to rephrase it. They are trying to work it. So now AI based enabled LMS are much required at this point of time. Also,
Yes.
as Pratap has already mentioned that various kind of analysis, behavioral analysis, students understanding is also required at this age point of time.
Exactly.
Again, the students are whether they are able to understand or not. So if we have that kind of AI-enabled LMS and other things, so we could see that what are the challenges and all. So that's my humble submission that AI-powered edutech is very much important in terms of global collaboration, in terms of futuristic learning, and in terms of future learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj. Again, thank you for your valuable inputs. I think that was a very valid point. You talk about the student perspective as well over there, coming from your experience. So that was like good knowledge or like insights to have again. Um Now, yeah, definitely. I going to Mr. Samuel. If you're there, hi. So I just want to quickly drop in a question in terms of the psychology perspective. From that psychology perspective, how can AI be employed to tailor education experience that consider individual learning preference as a psychological factor?
Thank you very much. It is crucial to know that AI, the introduction of AI has really helped psychology in so many ways, especially in giving out a kind of tailored educational experiences
Yeah,
to students or individuals' learning preferences, and to also better, their, overall learning performances.
right.
But let's consider some of the psychological perspective that can be employed with the advent of AI. For example, we have what is called adaptive learning systems. It is an employment of an AI algorithm, that can analyze individual learning styles,
Yes,
individual learning preferences, and
exactly.
individual performance data to dynamically adjust, the difficulty, the pace, and content of educational materials. This adaptive learning system can also help in personalized learning paths,
Exactly.
that can be created based on cognitive profiles in order to ensure that each student receives the content in a way that aligns with their optimal learning modality. And we also have what is called natural language processing.
Yes,
Natural language processing can be used to analyze written or spoken language to understand students, or how students express themselves, and detect signs of confusion, signs of frustration, or signs of engagement. Then through this natural language processing, we can also have what is called chatbots, which are powered by natural language processing. It can offer real-time assistance in answering questions and providing additional resources tailored to the student express needs. We can as well see that with the advent of AI, we can have what is called gamification and engagement. AI
exactly.
algorithm can be used to design and adapt gamified elements within educational platforms to maintain high levels of engagement. It can also be monitored using interactions. AI can adjust the level of challenges, the level of reward, the level of feedback to suit individual preferences and also motivate students. Then we can have AI with the introduction of AI, we can have cognitive load management. Is the introduction of AI can help us to analyze the cognitive load experienced by students during different learning activities. Such information can be used to optimize content delivery, breaking down of complex concepts into more manageable chunks, and adapting the learning environment to minimize, such cognitive overload. Then we can also see that with the introduction of AI, it is possible to have a better predictive analytics. AI can predict learning outcomes based on historical data and current performances of the student. It can
Right.
also help in early identification of potential challenges, allows for proactive interventions, such as providing additional resources, adjusting learning paths, or offering personalized support. Then we can also notice that with AI, it is possible for us to have a continuous feedback and iteration. With AI system, it is possible to have a continuous feedback to both students and educators, thereby fostering a kind of growth mindset and encouraging a focus on improvement. It can as well provide insight, from ongoing adjustment to the educational experience, ensuring that, it remains responsive to the evolving needs of individual learners. Then I will also like to mention about the emotional recognition. with AI, we can actually, we can deploy AI to analyze facial expressions, body languages, and even physiological indicators to recognize emotional state of students. We can as well have what we call emotional feedback, which can be integrated into the learning process and provide additional support or adapting the content based on the learning emotional engagement of overall well-being of students. I would like to conclude that by integrating these AI-driven approaches, it is obvious that educational experiences can actually be tailored towards, to better align with the diverse psychological factors and learning preferences of individual students, thereby creating a more effective and personalized learning environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Valuable points and inputs over there. Appreciate that. Now, with regards to that, again, like a lot of being talked about the personalized learning experience and like how to do adaptive assessment, how AI does that. So I just want to quickly go to Mr. Gabriel on that point and understand that in the realm of AI enhanced education, right? Like, so how can we ensure that inclusivity and accessibility for students with diverse learning styles and needs are met? I just want to understand from your perspective, what do you think on that?
When we think of inclusivity, one has to remember, while it presents, in a sense, the ideal, it is still a complex, convoluted, and difficult area to address. And although I spoke highly about AI and assistive technology, one has to, well, as educators, we have to make sure we get the right tool for the particular student. Because if you in a class you have students with multiple challenges, it becomes difficult. Therefore, it is incumbent on the educator to first of all do a needs assessment, so you know exactly this type of students you have before you. Some may have challenges in certain areas, others may not have. So I would say even before we use things like the chatbot and the virtual assistants and the various educational platforms, I would strongly recommend and encourage educators, first of all, to do a needs assessment and make sure that that is continuous, because the student may become competent in the particular area and then you need to move there. So and when we think of inclusivity, we want to try to what? Minus or minimize as far as possible biases. We want to create an awareness in the classroom where what? Cultural harmony is there, that there's really no what? No, we don't practice nepotism. So while we do all that, I guess that's where the human educator comes in and motivates and perhaps instruct the wider class that this particular student, because of this specific disability or disadvantage, may need more attention. Thus, he or she or they would be given full use of this tool, this technology, while the others may be deprived at that time. But I don't know if that is of any kind of answer. Yeah.
Right. Totally understand. Valid point again in terms of how inclusivity can be like enhanced with use of AI. Now, keeping time in mind, I'll quickly jump into Mr. Mahmood. Mr. Mahmood, I just want to understand from you in terms of the sci-fi realm perspective, like you understand that teachers are a fascinating concept, right? So how can AI and cybersecurity measures ensure the ethical use of such technology in education? You're on mute, Mr. Mohammed.
Okay, I'm audible now.
Yes, you are. Please go
Okay,
ahead.
actually, I think we all understand that holographic teachers came from science fiction. Still, it became increasingly feasible with AI holographic technology advance. However, this raises some ethical concern that we must address for reasonable implementation of AI in education. To ensure ethical use of the concept of AI in teaching or education, AI development and employment should be adhered with some principles. First of all, we need to consider transparency and accountability because AI algorithms need to be, you can see, okay, they are algorithms and data used to create and operate the teaching process should be transparent and accountable to ensure fairness and non-discrimination, and also aligned with education objectives. Also, on the other hand, we need to provide data security and data privacy. Students' collected data should be controlled to the minimum limit of required data. We don't need to connect extra data that exceed the student privacy or put the student security at risk. Also, on the concept of data security, we need to consider accurate scheduled backup of the data and security of the data, so we can be able to recover data in the case of any accident or any incident happened. Another crucial principle is bias mitigation, where AI algorithms should be carefully examined to identify and eliminate potential bias that could lead to unfair treatment of students. Finally, if we are talking about the ethics of using AI, we need to have some human oversight and control. This, I think most of the panelists are addressing this point. The AI implementation of education should be operated under the guidance and supervision of human educators, because up to now, still human teachers are able to provide some human skills that AI can't fully replicate, such as personalized attention, MC, and also critical thinking. On the other hand, when we are talking about the cybersecurity, we need to consider some cybersecurity measures that are crucial to be considered, such as using data software, using secure software and hardware. This means that we need to regularly update software and hardware we are using in this implementation with security patches to cover or overcome all the vulnerabilities that are discovered every day to reduce. We are not talking about preventing, but we are talking about reducing the possibility of cyber attacks. Also, implementing access control and authentication. Access control to restrict unauthorized access to use the data, and also authentication. We're using different authentication techniques like multi-factor authentication. This will help to verify the user identity. It's also mandated to use data encryption and protection for sensitive students' information, and to ensure confidentiality for the students' information, maintaining regular data backup and disaster recovery plans to safeguard against data loss. Network security. This is a very important point. Considering network security, we need to use some network security and monitoring measures, such as firewalls, intrusion detection, and intrusion prevention systems. Also, conducting continuous network monitoring to identify and respond to sensitive, suspicious activities. Finally, if we are looking about cyber risks, the most crucial And this is not only regarding AI, this is regarding for any usage for online technologies. Up to now, we need to provide a security education and awareness programs to all participants, not only students or learners, but also for educators. This will help to raise the awareness for the participant of the potential threat and best practices for protecting privacy and data security. By incorporating AI and robust cybersecurity measures, also we can consider the principles of ethics. We can harness the potential and the potential of the AI implementation in the education system while safeguarding ethical consideration and data security.
Understood. Thank you for those points again, Mr. Mahmood. Now, I just considering the time, I just quickly want to have a very quick input from Mr. Pratap on data analytics and its significant aspects of LMS or usage of that in an LMS, right? So how can an organization leverage the data insights provided by this platform to enhance their digital transformation strategies and overall learning outcome?
Yeah, certainly. Leveraging data insights from LMS can definitely impact on organizational digital transformation strategies. Like as we discussed, like basically personalized learning paths. For example, LMS data analytics can track individual progresses, identifying learning patterns and preferences. For instance, if data shows that employees prefer micro learning modules over lengthy courses, organizations can adopt content delivery to suit their preferences, improving engagement and retention. So what I mean is that LMS can track LMS can track the sales team perform better when they undergo short scenario-based training modules. Organizations can then prioritize creating similar content for other departments, ensuring a more effective learning experience across the board. Then second point comes under content optimization. So analyzing data from LMS helps identify the highest performing content and areas needing improvement. So like we can consider like metrics like completion rate, quiz scores, or time spent on the modules, which reveals which materials are most effective. So considering that, organization can then optimize the content or invest in updating less engaging resources. So to support this, if an analytics indicate that employee consistently struggle with a specific module on software training, so organizations can redesign the content, add more interactive elements, or provide some additional resources to address this kind of challenges. Now, considering predictive analytics for skill gaps. So the data can forecast skill gaps within an organization. So by analyzing which skills employees are lacking or where they are falling behind, so organization can proactively develop training programs to bridge these gaps, ensuring a more skilled workforce. Now, the very important thing is the performance tracking and feedback. So LMS analytics can track employee performance and gather feedback. Insights derived from this data can help assessing the effectiveness of training programs. Organization can then refine or tailor courses based on employee feedback to enhance overall learning experiences. So to consider, like to support with an example, LMS can reveal that a newly introduced compliance training module receives consistently low ratings. So organizations can use this feedback to revamp the content and making it more engaging and relevant to employees. So out of all, data-driven decision making. So utilizing this data insights from the LMS empowers organizations to make informed decisions about the learning strategies. It helps in allocating resources effectively, choosing the most impactful training methods, and adapting to the evolving trends. So just to support the final example, and an analysis was showing in a very practical way that mobile based learning modules are having a very significantly higher engagement rates than desktop based ones. So Of course, it might not with every, but the AI can jump here and organizations can allocate more resources to develop mobile-friendly content to cater these preferences. So
Right.
that's all. I think most of the things
System.
I have covered. Thanks.
Yeah. So probably systems which are or LMS systems which are mobile friendly and like can be more gamified in
Absolutely.
terms of its use.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Pratap. And again, moving forward to Mr. Pankaj on context to that. So, since we are talking about LMS, so in your role as Pro Vice Chancellor, right? So, how can an AI-driven LMS contribute to the seamless integration of technology in education leadership? So, like fostering a balance between traditional method and the innovation learning experiences. You're on mute, Mr. Yeah. You're still on mute, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So again, as I've already mentioned, that the traditional classroom setup is completely different, and futuristic education is again a very different situation.
Correct.
So in either cases, what happened? Like if you talk about the scenario, I've already mentioned that one system or one person can fit for all is the current scenario. We all have assumed that while delivering my lecture, everything will be settled. So that's not the case. It needs a kind of individual learning, individual attention. But again,
Yes.
the challenge is what I'm working with a provision as a private university. So
Yes.
every penny we are expanding, we need to earn it first, right? So each expenses required some kind of money. So cost cutting and everything is there. So as a private institution, we all are thinking about why don't we have to hire one more teacher? If I can include 60, some let's say 10 more chairs in a classroom, and let's say these 70 students. That's same teacher can be 70 students, 80 students, just expanding the furnitures only. So 60 students, 70 students. This is what one challenge, but in that way, technology or some solutions are required for individual learning. My teachers are well and sufficient enough to teach and everywhere, but point is that whether they have a time each and every student in school, you can see you all have kids. When the kids are coming back to home and happily that mama or papa have got good, very good in this homework, everybody was very happy, right? But in college
And
education, you cannot find that kind of rigorous checking of assignments. Right?
exactly.
We are equally giving the assignments. Also, we are evaluating the students for the end semester examinations, and other examinations are seriously good. But assignments you cannot check. Assisted learnings are required. In that way, this kind of technologies and AI-enabled LMS or some kind of solution, maybe you can include some chatbots to your LMS. That is
Yes.
more important. So
Right.
that is my submission that without the technology you cannot survive, right? Every person you're also sitting with me have checked your mobile phone in 5 minutes, at least 3 to 5 times. Where is my mobile? Why it's not ringing? Why there's no notification in last 5 minutes? But just imagine your life of 5 years or 10 years back. You all are happily living without the smartphone. But right now you can live without your wife, without your kids, but you cannot live without your smartphone and internet connectivity. That in that way, similar fashion, after 5 years or 4 years, we will talk about some another AI or some another chat GPT or another some platform. I was
True.
giving the example, let me give me one example. I have 1 more minute, please.
Yes, please. Sir. Yeah.
So imaginations will also get tremendous directions with the AI. I was just teaching the student and about the creativity in the classroom, and I have given them assignment that can you create the furnitures which are looking like a fruit or vegetable, right? And they have created something, and I've just connected my laptop with the projector, and I have shown them. If you allow me, I can show you also that how the technology helps you in your imagination, right? So you can use the ChatGPT 4, or you can use the Microsoft Bing chat enabled, Google's chatbots, where you just give a command, a prompt, that create a furniture which looks like a banana. And you will get plenty of furnitures which are looking like a banana, which are looking like a pineapple, which are looking like an apple, and likewise, whatever your imagination. You can give another prompt to the chat GPT and create an image where one girl is in the water, and that water is near to the forest, and that forest is surrounded with the mountain. So these are the prompt. If you are giving, just give it this kind of prompt and you will see the imagination how it is working. The point is, what every students are having lots of tremendous opportunity, and these opportunities are not only for them, but opportunities can explore. Students have the idea, they have various number of potentials, but that potential needs a direction, and that direction is to be given not only by the teachers but also with the technology. And if you say that the technology is bad, ethical, non-ethical, privacy issue, you say like anything, but it will be adopted like anything, just like your smartphone. I have given the example, just like your, nobody is watching, this Disney Hotstar. ICC Men's World Cricket is going on. Research has shown that around 60% of the audience are watching through smartphones, not through the television. So see how the technology is changing. Now, no need of the bigger and heavy 56-inch of a smartphone in the bedroom and all. Everybody is watching and happy in of any cricket or anything else. That's the technology is very, very important. And as my humble submission is that for assisted learning, every institution should have the LMS assisted with the AI. Thank you very much. What is?
Thank you, Mr. Pankaj. I quickly want to have a very last question before we wrap the session to Mr. Samuel, since we are talking about LMS, right? So I just want to get a psychology perspective and a data analytic perspective from him on how can LMS cater to the diverse learning preference and psychological factor of a student, ensuring a personalized and effective learning experience. If you can give me quick inputs in like 2-3 minutes, yeah. Yeah, on mute. Yeah. Yes, you're on mute, Mr.
We are running short of time also. Can you check? It's always 6:34.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So, psychological perspective, I will be very brief. Individualized learning path, just like I mentioned in my first contribution, we really help in implementing adaptive learning technologies, that we adjust the learning path based on individual progress and preferences, because you discover that most of the students actually lost when they're in the crowd. So the LMS system, we really, it gives room for individualized learning path. Then we also consider incorporating this personalized content, recommendations based on the learner's past activities, based on the learner's previous performances, based on the learner's preferences. So we have to put these three pieces into consideration. Then we can as well, based on psychological perspective, multiple learning modalities. We should incorporate multiple learning modalities that will support diverse learning styles by providing content in various formats. We should move beyond mere text, mere video. We can include audio. We can include interactive simulations and so on and so forth, that will suit the modern world, that will suit, most of this generation, the generation of students that we are breeding now. Then such multiple learning modality will also allow students to choose their preferred mode of learning. It also enable them to have a mix of visual audio, and kinetic experiences. So this will really help LMS. Then feedback and recognition. This will offer a kind of timely and constructive feedback, that will reinforce positive behavior and also help to correct misunderstanding. Like I mentioned earlier on, we need to utilize gamification elements such as badges, certificate, to
Yes.
recognize and reward achievement, no matter how little such achievement is. And also, this will also motivate the student. Then there is social learning opportunities. We really help to facilitate collaboration through discussion forum like we are doing now, group projects or peer assessment. Then it also incorporates social learning features such as allowing students to share their insights, allowing them to ask questions, allowing them to engage in collaborative activities. Then finally, on psychological perspective, the cultural sensitivity. We have to be culturally inclusive in content and examples such that our materials are relatable to a diverse student population. We also need to consider cultural differences in our communication styles and in our preferences, when designing this interactive element. Then on data analytic perspective, I've just mentioned too, learning analytics. We need to collect data, analyze data on student interactions within the LMS to identify patterns and preferences. We also need to use learning analytics to track progress, to highlight areas of improvement, and also to personalize content recommendation. Then predictive analytics will help us to leverage predictive analytics to forecast student future performances based on their historical data. I want to round up by saying that combining insight from strategy and leveraging on data analysis, LMS can evolve to better meet the diverse needs and preferences of students, ultimately enhancing their overall learning experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel, and thank you, everyone. We have already extended our time. I quickly want to wrap up the session. We actually had a very fantastic insights from our panelists, and I once again thank you for being a part of this wonderful masterclass. Your active participation and thoughtful contribution have made this discussion truly enriching. We look forward to more engaging conversations like this in future. If we can kind of collaborate again and discuss on similar topics which are more insightful. Thank you once again, everyone. Have a great day, whichever part of the world you're joining in from. Thank you to have all of you on board. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.
Really, it's a
Bye.
great discussion. Wonderful insight. I have learned also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
My pleasure to be part of, and see you all.
Wonderful.
Have a good day. Take care.
Moderating the session. Great
Same here.
moderating.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.